Alright, welcome back guys, and I know this doesn't look like a DVD video, and it's not today. I'm going to be reviewing the new horror game, Propnight. Tell you all about the game, the features, to what could be the latest arrival to DVD, so stay tuned. Alright, so Propnight released yesterday, and I never got to really play the beta, so thought, let's give it a try. As always guys, feel free to like the video if you enjoy it, drop me a comment on your thoughts on the game. So what is Propnight? Propnight is a 4v1 horror game where survivors need to power 5 prop machines, or generators as you may call them, out of 7. Once they've done that, they can escape using one of the 2 exits. I know, Jay, you're a silly boy, you're explaining Dead by Daylight. No, this is definitely Propnight objective. If you choose to play survivor. If you want to play a killer, your task is to kill all the survivors and prevent them escaping and slowing them down by damaging the prop machines. You have a choice of 5 killers initially, and I'm sure the devs will be looking to add more in the future, but the killers are an interesting bunch with some very interesting powers that I will discuss with you. The first killer on the list is the Banshee, or Discount the Conjuring Nun. Her powers are cursing the prop machine, the Banshee Scream, which deals damage to survivors and showing you their location, and Flight, which is basically the ability to zoom across different parts of the map. The Granny is next, and you can use her to attack survivors with a ghost knife that flies at survivors who approach it. You have the ability to be invisible and move quicker for a short while. She also has the ability to throw a knife at the survivors from a distance. The Imposter is next, and his abilities are really interesting. He has his Overcharge, which basically increases movement speed every time a prop machine is completed. He can also change his appearance to one of the survivors, and he also has the ability to turn himself into a prop. Sounds fun, right? Next up is Acacia, whose ability includes a Blade Dash, which makes a dash forward and damage anybody nearby, the Blood Eye, which creates an eye of blood in the air, and this can track a survivor's movements, and finally the Shadow, which allows her to take a shadow form and become faster, but removes her ability to attack. The final killer on the list is basically Bunny Legion on steroids. He's called Igor. He is a chainsaw-wielding maniac with his powers including the Chainsaw Terror, which is basically a chainsaw sound playing across the map, making Igor stealthy. The Soda Bomb, which can be thrown at survivors like a ranged weapon, and finally the Charge, which is simply a dash forward with the chainsaw. So my first impressions on the game. I did think the game was a bit on the steep side, with me having to pay £15 for it straight away. I'm like, okay, this game better be worth it. Initially, after playing a few games, I get the impression that this game might be a tad overpowered on the survivors side. Some of the maps, like the farm map, leave you scratching your head when survivors run into the corner and disappear. The game has a built-in chat too, so you can hear survivors talking, and this can sometimes lead to some aggro for the killer, such as mocking and taunting. But I suppose it's all fun, so that's what the game's decided to put in, so fair enough. Support for the controller seems to be a bit weird at the moment in regards to trying to play with the controller is just going to keep the sound display on screen, so that can be quite annoying, but keyboard and mouse all fine. Queuing for games was really quick, so there must be a decent base on at the moment, so no issues with that. I'm not sure how the matchmaking works, but I was clearly playing with players who knew what they were doing. This is both when I played as Survivor and as Killer, so for me the game felt unbalanced, but that's part of the learning curve I suppose. All killers have the ability to hunt, so I presume this is similar to Bloodlust in that you will get quicker the longer you're chasing survivors. However, survivors have the ability to sprint, making the chase a little bit more difficult. Survivors can blind you with a camera, they can stun you with a door, or they can simply change to a prop and jump on your head. I wasn't aware of this until I had downed a survivor. Another survivor just stunned me and made me drop the survivor by jumping on my head. Survivors changing to props also makes the chases more difficult, and they were just jumping around all over, making you whiff quite a lot, trying to get a hit on a tiny object, so if the prop was on the floor, trying to hit it, it just seemed there was an issue with the hitbox there. Maybe the issue is me, I don't know. I think some of the killers are going to have a high skill cap to learn the powers and really get some use out of them to try to stop the survivors. The games do have a time limit, and survivors finishing each prop machine is going to add more time to the game, so I suppose this keeps the game flowing nicely and shows that survivors are doing something rather than just being immersed as a prop, for example. The gens do seem to take a while to do, so not sure on the numbers, but certainly felt a lot longer than doing a gen on DVD. I will be playing this game more after spending £15 in it. I feel like I have to really, but there needs to be some more progression in the game to keep my interest, and this is something I think Dead by Daylight does perfectly. When we look at the vast amount of kills and perks and builds you can use, something like that is currently lacking in Propnight, but I'm sure if this game turns out to be successful, that'll be something that'll be implemented in due course. I am impressed with the artwork of this game, with the maps looking great, and for me the game did run really smoothly throughout. I personally didn't come across any bugs at all, except obviously missing the survivors, but like I said, that could just be me. I need to get good at this game, and that's something that will probably keep me incentivized to keep playing it for now, but of course Dead by Daylight will still be my go-to just because of the simplicity of the game itself. I will say that especially for survivors, this game looks like it's going to be fun. Mind gaming the killer and taunting when they walk straight past you and not notice you hide in the prop will be fun, and maybe the game will attract players on that basis, but for the introverts out there, playing and speaking to strangers on the mic might make you feel physically sick. Like I said, I will be putting more hours into this game. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more gameplay from Propnight. Obviously, I'm also waiting for a VHS beta key, and if I am fortunate to get one, we'll love to give that a try. Dead by Daylight needs competition, guys. Competition is good, and at the moment, DBD has a monopoly in this genre, so with Propnight, VHS, the new Evil Dead game dropping next year, certainly a great time to be alive. What are your thoughts on this game, guys and girls? Have you tried it? Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all soon on the next video. Alright, take it easy, guys.